Hello traders and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Yaroslav Birchenko and I am here to bring you another fantastic webinar. Now why is this webinar so good? Because I'm going to explain and guide you through a topic that personally I love the most. I have made the most amount of money on these kind of idea trades. I conduct my personal finance in kind of this regard, and this has been one of the most sought after questions from you guys. Everybody wants to know, where can we find the information? What kind of information do we need to pay attention to? And of course, how you can monetize on that, how you can make money. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I would love to ask you guys if you can hear me and see me, and also what the situation in your trading is like. Are you doing good? Have you lost some money? Are you starting to get a hang of it? I would love to get some feedback from you guys. Let me know how long you've been trading, and I will guide you along this webinar without going too deep into the technical words that may kind of put you off. All right, Mohammed Tariq, welcome to you. Good to see you, my friend. Very disciplined you are. Very, very disciplined. I'm glad to see you guys. Jay Shri Brava Kumar, Tinker, hello. You guys are all straight A students. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for coming today. All right, so without getting into the complex details of it right away, I want to tell you that trading can make you a lot of money if you know what news to pay attention to. Now, as you guys may have read already in the description bar, I talk about Disney. Every time there's a new Star Wars film that comes out, we have the likes of Disney rising. And that's absolutely true. Another thing that is true, in 2017, I don't remember if you guys remember this, but the U.S. experienced one of the biggest hurricanes they had in 10 years. I don't remember the exact name of the hurricane, but it destroyed properties in Texas and Florida and in other southern states of the United States. And there's a company that we have on the Olymp Trade platform that grew substantially because of the demand, the increased demand for construction materials. Let me show you guys. So if we go ahead and open up our stocks category, first of all, we have Caterpillar. Oh, unfortunately, we don't have Home Depot. Caterpillar is down the chain. You need heavy machinery to make repairs, and we'll talk about that today, how the new Biden plan will make you some money. So just having a look at what you guys are writing in chat. Narayan Sapfath is everything is going good, sir. I'm glad to hear that. That's fantastic. No strategy is suiting me. Juhi Mukhija. I would like to welcome you to copy my strategy, like on my screen what I have. I have the exponential moving averages and the oscillators that we have here. And the reason is because these are very effective, yet very simple, and they allow you to kind of see the graph. Like, it's not too cluttered or too messed up. So copy my strategy, let me know how it works, and I'll teach you. So this is the technical side. The technical side is very easy. Moving averages, Bollinger Band to show me where we are in the market cycle, in the wave cycle, and two oscillators that show me two different things. Simple. I won't go into detail about it, and you guys in chat, I pinned a message for you that allows you to continue researching this topic. So after today's webinar, you can have a look at those if you haven't already seen them, in order to continue to understand how to trade the news, what kind of strategies apply, how the time zones work, what kind of assets work in which time zone, things like that. But stay till the end of this webinar, because I'm going to give you guys free stuff. There's going to be a giveaway at the end of the webinar, so you really want to stick it through. So first things first, let me get started right away. We only have 20 minutes. It was a hurricane. You're absolutely right, Mohammed Tariq. And even during bad news events, certain stocks grow. And that's what I'm going to teach you guys today, how to make money when things change in the government. And we'll talk about not only the stock market, but the currency market, and maybe if we have time, the gold and cryptocurrency market. So first things first, where do you go get news if you have no idea about anything? If you don't know anything about anything, Yahoo Finance. It's the layman's place to get easy news. When you click on Yahoo Finance, it's just finance.yahoo. We have all of these things. This is what we need. We need a little bit of information about what's going on, what is current, and what kind of new events happened. Every time there's a vaccine that comes out, or there's a crisis, or a new law is passed, you will usually find that information here. Now, you can use Bloomberg, you can use Reuters, you can use the Wall Street Journal, you can use Financial Times. Any of these news catalysts or any of these news providers will do the exact same job. You just want to come here once a day and for about 15 minutes just scan. You don't need to click and actually read everything. You can just scan. Now, another thing that they have is Yahoo Live or Yahoo Finance Live. But we won't go into detail about that. There's a few actually live services, and I'll give you the best one today. Again, coming up a little bit later. So we know that President Joe Biden is pushing forward a new plan where they want to do basically this, what you see on the screen. They want to restructure the country to make it more efficient. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea after the pandemic that we had. So what we're going to do is see where the money is going to go to. So if we just scroll down a little bit more, this is Financial Times, by the way. Most important thing we want to look at here, spend around $2 trillion and on what? So $400 billion on care for the elderly and with disabilities. Okay, check mark. Let's have a look at what we have that deals with health and medicine. Health and medicine are going to get $400 billion worth of injection for free from the government. Okay, great. What do we have here? We have Procter & Gamble. They make consumer goods and all sorts of little, even if they don't necessarily make the drugs that you use, they will make the syringes. They will make the pads. They will make the bandages. They make everything that is related to health, beauty, and self-care. So Procter & Gamble, one of those that is going to benefit from this. Another one that we have, let me see, so there's Procter & Gamble, Novartis. Now, Novartis is not a U.S. company, guys. Keep in mind, this is a Swiss company. It's from Switzerland. So they're not going to directly be receiving money from the U.S. government. But we have the likes of Johnson & Johnson. They are a part of the health kind of infrastructure in the United States. They will be receiving money. So when we're looking at these assets, you want to write these things down. Every asset that I mentioned today, you want to write down, because why? Johnson & Johnson is trading at a discount. We have at least $3 more, and it's not even the all-time highs. If we have a look, we are quite a ways off of all-time highs. The dynamics are bullish, and so this is one of the stocks that you want to watch out for, considering that they are providing a vaccine to all of Europe. I think it's a very good company. Now let's continue. This is the research that a trader would do when you're understanding what the fundamental drivers are, what is going to make money. So moving on, $100 billion, we'll go to job training for disadvantaged groups. Second tranche of the plan this spring. This is important. Do this spring. So in the next quarter, they're going to decide which companies get the money. So that means during this quarter, the money is not going to hit the companies yet. It's still being decided on. Enhanced childcare and rights paid to leave. So moving on just a little bit later, question is, I'm scanning for where money is going. Where is the money going? New round of infrastructure. Bridges, inner-city express trains. Unfortunately, we do not have many construction companies here on the list, but we do have one bad boy, Caterpillar. Look at this. Caterpillar has been growing like crazy all throughout the pandemic and continues to do so. This is an incredible stock. Were you invested in this stock a year ago? Everybody's talking about Tesla, and we have the likes of Apple, we have some Bitcoin mania. Did anybody mention Caterpillar? Did anybody seek to find that this company is going to be in increased demand for all of 2021? Because they are going to be doing the bridge work, the port work. There's another thing that was not mentioned in this article. Ports are going to be receiving an injection of cash in order to modernize. So ports in the southern side of the United States are a target. They're going to be receiving a lot of money, and they're going to be doing a lot of construction work. Caterpillar provides heavy machinery. All the cranes and bulldozers and flattenings and trucks, all of that is being provided by Caterpillar to the government directly through government contracts or through contractors who then they provide the equipment to. So these are the companies that are going to make a lot of money out of the $2 trillion that have been signed into action by the new U.S. president. That is one way of looking for opportunity and looking for ways to make money. Another way, I told you that every time Apple has a new iPhone is released, Apple stock grows. Now, the way that this graph looks is a little bit tedious because they recently, last year, went through a 5-to-1 stock split. They took the price of the stock, divided it by 5, and for every one stock that you had, you now get 5. So this is a good thing for small investors like us, because instead of costing $500 per stock, we can now buy a few small stock at $127. The volatility is the same. The price moves the same, about $1 to $2 a day, but we have the opportunity to buy more. So that means you and I, we can make more money. So Tesla, Apple went through the stock split. It's a good thing. Boeing is one of those companies that is also subsidized by the government. The government is actually pushing Boeing to make contracts with different countries. Iran is number 1 on the list right now to receive some Boeing aircraft. And so Boeing, I'm a little bit iffy on this stock, guys, so write it with a little bit of a minus sign at the end. But the other stocks that I mentioned are really, really good. Oil. Every time oil grows, expect oil companies to grow. Oil companies grow every time oil grows. Disney. Every time there's a new Star Wars film, Disney grows. Any kind of other franchise that the Disney pushes really strong, Disney grows. Facebook, Google, they are not as banks. Guys, this is also important. JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs, the 2 banks that we have. These are sensitive to interest rates. Write this down. Every time there's an interest rate decision and maybe the interest rate goes up, watch out for banks. In the following month or 2, they are likely to increase because it is expected. It is expected that price will grow. What do you want to use? Guys, we are trading the news. We are trading what's going on in the news. What do you want to look for? You want to look for the news. You want the expectancy of something to change, to hit people's brains, and then to see that on the stock market. Afterwards, you don't want to keep the price open for too long. You don't want to keep the trade open for too long. You hear the news that there's a new Star Wars film coming out in half a year. Half a year is the deadline. You want to open up a position for about a month on Disney and then close it. And yes, I am talking about Forex right now. You want to make sure that if there's like a big shock to the oil market and you are trading oil, like Muhammad Tariq, we discussed this, the Suez Canal was blocked by an enormous freight ship. What do? We buy oil. We buy Brent crude because there's going to be a blockage, a severe blockage. The Suez Canal transports hundreds of tons of oil a day. So this is a major blockage that will cause the price of oil to spike because companies, energy companies, production companies, pharmaceutical companies, they need to buy from different sources. So this is the kind of news trading that I'm trying to teach you guys today. You need to kind of learn which assets are sensitive to what news, and in a nutshell, I explained to you guys what we have today. So MasterCard and Visa, I noticed a very good consolidation in the way these assets moved. When people were at home and they weren't using different money systems, they slumped. They had kind of a negative earnings year. But when people are traveling a lot and a lot of things are globalized and we have the global economy that's intertwined, these stocks do really well. Visa and MasterCard are all about globalization. Every time there is less laws or more trade agreements, Visa and MasterCard go good. This was in 2016 when Trump first became president. He destroyed several agreements, North America Free Trade Agreement and the Asia Pacific Island Agreement as well. So those stocks, Visa and MasterCard, they went down quite a bit. So watch these things and understand how these work. All right, so where do we find this information? So Yahoo Finance is one. You can just click, this is what I did. I clicked Joe Biden plan, and I clicked the first link, and that gave me a lot of the details already that we discussed about today. Now, this isn't kind of like a one-stop thing. You need to continuously be researching and thinking inside your head how you can make money from what's going on in the world today. Another way you can trade and look at ways to make money is through the economic calendar. So the economic calendar, we have a look at what's going on this week. By the way, what happened last week? Last week we had non-farm payrolls, and you can have a look at how incredible those were. So for anybody not understanding why the US dollar is growing, well, it's quite simple. We had non-farm payrolls right here come out at a whopping 1 million new jobs. So at the start of March, there was 10 million people unemployed in the United States. Now there's only 9, and the tendency is rising. The economy is picking up. Why is this important? A little bit of economic knowledge goes a long way. When the economy becomes strong and we have more people employed and businesses are making better money, the central bank increases interest rates. They increase the interest rate. And what happens when we increase the interest rate? Well, the US dollar is worth more because you can put the US dollar in the bank and make some percentages. That is what the kind of formula looks like and what it works in. So knowing this information and watching the economic calendar periodically can make you a lot of money. Now, like I said, in chat, I have linked the how to trade news events. The second link, that's how to trade non-farm payrolls, guys. Make sure to watch it so that you can figure out how to trade non-farm payrolls on your own. So I'm looking at your guys' comments to see if you guys have any questions that I can answer. Hello, Christophine Robinson. Yeah, hello, this is Yaroslav Birchenko from Olymp Trade. Yeah, I'm here to help you understand how news events impact financial assets. Yes. Yeah, okay. I hope that works for you. So stick around. We are going to continue talking about the economic calendar. If we look at this week, what's going on this week, we can see that there's a lot of, well, first of all, we had the RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia interest rate decision, and they came out flat, didn't want to change, were ready to increase the bond buying program. Not a lot went on over here, but the Australian dollar did pick up. You guys can watch and have a look at this, how the Australian dollar works when its news event comes out. So we had on Tuesday, the 6th, April 4th, 5th, 6th. So a little bit of a pickup, but stayed relatively flat. The reason is because there's no change. The RBA is very, they're very concrete that they are not going to be changing the interest rate. So they said on the 6th, they said we're going to keep interest rates flat until 2024. So another 3 years, they're not going to change the interest rate. Obviously, no news because they said that during the last meeting, and during the last meeting, they said the same thing. So that's why we don't have a lot of volatility, but you do want to be paying attention to where we have 3 stars. Have a look at this. You see the 3 stars? That means that it has a very big volatility rating. Here we have the Energy Administration from the United States. They are giving their outlook on the price of oil. So if you're trading oil, if you have positions for oil, or if you want to start trading it, this is definitely something that you would want to follow. Now, moving on, we had FOMC meeting minutes. To give you so you don't have to read the report. I read these reports periodically. During this report, they basically said that they are willing to do anything and willing to keep stimulating the economy. What does that mean? That means when the U.S. president wants more money, if they're going to continue with another stimulus package, the FOMC is likely to give it to them. So that's what we have from kind of central bank information this week. Something that we can make money on today, guys, have a look at the current account. The current account basically is how much the government has, or not the government, but how much has already been exported. And so you can see that Japan exports a lot more than they import. Like if their current account was negative, that means they are taking loans or importing on credit from other countries. It's neither here nor there. It's got a 2-star reading, but I've been looking at the US dollar Japanese yen. US dollar Japanese yen has been falling quite heavily today. Looking at the global picture, we see how the 20 SMA right here in the Bollinger Bands, this is the 20 EMA. We've been looking at how it has been used as a level of support. You can see here we tried to touch it but went through, but now we have a breakout. Oof. Now this could be a false breakout, but on the hourly graph it's like a sharp fall down. What I'm looking for is when we come back to this level, you could try to buy actually from these lows. This is another way of trading that I've seen people do. So you can see right here we're at the low where we're supposed to be, and so one way to trade this would be buying it up. The reason is because I'm very bullish on the US dollar. If we have a look at any of the US dollar news, so negative crude oil inventories is good for the dollar, excuse me, is good for oil. So the US is still importing more than it's exporting. That's why the trade balance is negative. Factory orders have fell, not a really good reading when we want the economy to pick up. Services are doing incredibly. Every reading for PMI statistics that you get that's above 50, that means growth. And we have the same here for non-manufacturing PMI. Basically, services and non-manufacturing PMI are the same thing. So not a lot of news for the US dollar, but something that you definitely want to look for is what the US dollar average is doing. And you can find that right here in indices and basic dollar index. So my graph periodically gets deleted, but we kind of broke out of the downtrend. If you guys have a look here, it's been a downtrend since the coronavirus pandemic, and then kind of the fact that we break above the 100 EMA, and now we're wedged between these two EMAs. Neither here nor there. I'm not quite certain where the US dollar is going to go next. But looking at the US dollar Japanese yen could be a good buying opportunity on, say, a shorter time frame. Oof, I don't like the fact that it went down again. 5-minute time frame does not instill confidence in me that, hey, we are looking to go up higher. So I'm going to leave this trade for now, something that you may want to look into. But the economic calendar allows or offers you a lot of information that can be easily tradable. So if we're looking for a high volatility event that you can make use of. So this week it looks like we're not having a lot of action, not something that you can really make money off of trading. Let's see what we can have next week. So the German ZEW economic report is important, but it's important for Germany. Germany does play a majority role in the economic makeup of Europe, but nonetheless, it's right here, RBNZ interest rate decision. So there's been a lot of back and forth between the Aussie New Zealand dollar. As you can see, it gets really volatile sometimes. So we had a really nice trend, some good volatility, and now we're kind of tightening up. This is good considering next week there's going to be action. The fact that we're tightening up right now means that in a few days, days of trading, there's going to be an explosive move. The market works in kind of, if you've seen my previous webinar where I showed a triangle getting tighter, then there's usually a breakout, a substantial breakout from that. And the opposite is true of, say, our triangle is getting bigger. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like. So here the triangle is getting smaller. Then we break out to the bottom. I think in Bitcoin we had such a market move. Yeah, so when you look at something like this, I mean, this is basically a sideways move, but we have one move getting higher this way, the next move getting higher here. So you see we're kind of always expanding the support and resistance level. That usually means that very soon we're going to tighten up someplace. So it works in the kind of, it's like a rubber band. It stretches and gets more or less volatile depending on the previous market action. So another way that you can get market news, so this is one way. You look ahead at the week of what's going to happen. You look at the stock price. You see if there's an opportunity for the price to move significantly, then you take it. If there's an opportunity for price to move one-sidedly, where you can take an FTT trade, then you should take it. Employment in Australia is a big deal. So guys, this is also an important one you want to keep track of. The Reserve Bank of Australia specifically makes decisions based on the employment rate. And so the employment change statistics are a very strong, they have a strong influence on the Australian dollar. Core retail sales, guys, you can have a look at this statistic right here, core retail sales, and try to trade the ETF that we have of real estate right here. US real estate ETF, very susceptible to the core real estate sales in the United States. So another thing that happened 2 weeks ago, we had the summit from the European Commission where they talked about there's nothing, not quite a lot of market moving news, but where do you find this information? Guys, this is a question that I've had from you guys quite often. Where can we find the information from the central banks? You just Google them. ECB press conference. This is what you always want. You want to put the name of the bank up front, so RBA, and then type in press conference. And they will move you to their library of press conferences. And so you can click here. You can click here and see that press conference that was made in March. Guys, please no spamming. I'm just looking at see what you guys are writing. So Girish Sagar, really good that you ask about private signals. Hey Muhammad Abdo, I'm good. There are no private signals, but as you guys have already seen, you can get trade ideas from me during my webinars. So in my descriptions, I will write that Yaroslav Birchenko will be the analyst that is conducting the webinar, and you guys can kind of plan your time accordingly to come to the webinars and to get market ideas from me. How about we do that, you guys? What is the third option you're having in the assets? So good stuff. The third option, let's talk about another way that you can find trade ideas, and that is by listening live, listening what's going on to live market moving events. So you can get Yahoo Finance live, or you can check out Bloomberg live. All it is right here, bloomberg.com/live, and you can get live market news. These gentlemen are always talking about what's going on in the stock market, what's going on in the currency market. You always have a graph. These assets are available to trade on the Olymp Trade platform. It's a really, really good resource that offers you guys an opportunity to sit at the graphs, do your own thing, but then on a separate screen or on your phone, you have the opportunity to listen to live market news. Why is this important again? Just like when economic news, the scheduled event calendar comes out, you get the news live. And again, my recommendation, despite having the economic calendar here on investing, I do recommend you guys use the economic calendar on trading economics. The reason is the news comes out here faster and more reliably. This is a more reliable website than investing.com. So investing is just easier for you guys to understand. That's why I show you. But personally, when I trade the news, I trade using trading economics exclusively. Bloomberg Live allows you to listen to what's going on in the market throughout the day. You can kind of have it open and say a Boeing 737 crashes. Bloomberg will know about it. There's a fire in an oil field in Tehran. You will know about it here first. There is a diplomatic dispute between China and the United States. You will learn about it here. This is what this is for. This is a place that you can go to learn news live as they happen. So as you're trading, you could get into short FTT trades just by the top stories or the market moving stories that we have coming out on Bloomberg Live. There's a lot of services. Again, this is something that I use, but this is something that can be used to make yourself some extra money or to have some more knowledge. So that's it for today, you guys. Congratulations for making it through the webinar. You now know 3 different ways on how to make money trading news that are happening all over the world. Now I'm going to give you guys free stuff. Now you guys have earned it. What we're going to be doing is the webinar that Angie conducted yesterday about the Fibonacci fan and Fibonacci retracement. We are going to copy this code, and for those of you that left comments with your account ID, we are going to be giving you guys as prizes. Hey, Benson Thuku, congratulations. I'm not sure if you are here during our webinar, but congratulations to you. You have made some prizes. Let's start again. Pick another winner. Vinayak Gaikwad. Hey, I know you. Congratulations to you, my friend. You are the lucky winner today. And the third and final winner, Suyed Razianul Islam. Thank you. We are glad we're having a positive impact on your life. Unfortunately, you didn't write your account ID, so I can't give you a perfect. Ekaterina Machalova. Congratulations to Kathy. Good job. All right, so congratulations to those of you guys that made it. The news that I always look for before I start trading is always having a look at the index. And the S&P 500 hit all-time highs recently. Yesterday, we were at all-time highs, and actually today we are as well. The trade that I have on, guys, by the way, we haven't discussed my open trades. I am trading MasterCard just because of the bullish tendency that we have here and the general openness of the economy. I've also been looking at Boeing, but that has not, a nice position has not outlined itself quite yet. I have been looking at buying oil, but we don't have that move that move up yet. And obviously with oil, I'm also looking to invest in some oil companies. Now they are very short term. Anything related to oil is very short term because in general, Europe is going green and the United States is growing green. So we are this is only like short-term trades that we're going to take. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I hope you learned something new. Please go ahead and leave us a like. Also, go ahead and sign up to our channel. Click the subscribe button and go ahead and visit our social media pages. Thank you guys so much for your time. My name is Yaroslav Birchenko, and together with Olymp Trade, we wish you guys good luck trading out there. See y'all next time.